Hello everyone, welcome to today's class, and in this class we are going to cover injuries and wounds, its different types and its medico-legal importance. So in this class we are starting with introduction to injuries. So before heading up we have to cover the introduction portion, okay? So first we have to define what is injury. So we can say that injury is any type of harm, whatever it is illegally caused, okay? This illegal term is really very important. It should be illegally caused to any person in body, mind and reputation. So we can categorize injury or hurt as in body, in mind and reputation along with property. And if we see the section, legal section, so it comes under section 44 or of IPC. So I have told most of the time that IPC stands for Indian Penal Code and CRPC stands for Criminal Procedure Code. So in CRPC we have procedures. In criminal procedure we understand what are the procedure for different crimes and different actions, and whereas in IPC it is Indian Penal Code, so this is for penalization. So if it is fixed that someone is the perpetrator and we have all evidence against that person, so we can penalize them under section IPC, okay? And in case of injury we have section 44, and this section 44 says injury is any type of harm which is illegally caused. Of course it is illegally caused, and if some medical person is causing harm to someone else's body, it will be legally. For example, if I have to perform some operation or something, so it will not be illegal. It is really, that's why I'm saying this is important. Illegally caused in any person's body, mind, reputation and property, and it's the legal definition. Okay, here we have the legal definition, and in the form of medical perspective we can say any wound or injury is the break of the natural continuity. So if you are driving or you fell from it, okay, so if your skin is torn or you have abrasion or you have bruise, so it is the breakage of the natural continuity of your skin. Okay, so that's why I'm saying it is medical type of definition. So if there is any breakage of natural continuity of any of the tissue of the living body, so any tissue or cell or anything, if there is some breakage, then it is injury. And mechanical injury, so this is the category of different injuries. I'm saying here mechanical injuries, we call it wounds, are injuries which is produced by physical violence. Okay, so in physical violence we most of the time see mechanical injuries. We will understand later what are mechanical injuries. And now trauma. So trauma is injury which is inflicted by force on living tissue. So if I am forcing someone, or if I applied force on somebody and he or she fell off, then that type of injury will be known as trauma. Okay, so mechanical injury or wounds are produced from physical violence, and if someone is inflicting force to somebody and in that time if the living tissue is torn off or if it's not in its natural continuity, then that is called as trauma. Okay, so we have important classification of injuries. This is really very important. So we have three different classification of injuries. So first we have medical, then we have medico-legal, and then we have legal. Okay, so we have, first we have medical. So we have mechanical injury or physical injuries. So that's what I was saying, that mechanical injury or physical injury is included in most of the physical violence cases. Okay, then we have thermal injury. So as the name suggests, if someone is getting injury from, let's say, hot water or iron, so that will be thermal injury. Then we have chemical injury. So recently you all know that there has been a chemical attack, or you can say the acid attack in Delhi. So that type of injury, even though it is burn injury, burns because of chemicals, but if someone is using chemical, then it will be categorized under chemical injuries. Then we have miscellaneous, all the other rest different types of injuries will come under miscellaneous. And then we have explosions. So if injuries are inflicted with help of some explosive substances, or you can say the firearm injuries will included in this only. And then we have medico-legal. So here we have medical, here we have legal, and in between we have medico-legal. Okay, so we will see the medical perspective along with legal one. Okay, in medical we have just medical point of view to the injuries, and in legal we have simply legal point of view to the injury, but in medico legal we are combining both. Okay, so for example, suicidal injury, so this is again medico legal, so it is legal again, and we have to decide it by medical means, so that's why it is medico legal. Then we have homicide. So homicide is important, of course, and in this type of injury it can include both medical and legal both. And homicide is someone is like, if someone is planning to kill someone, or if someone had planned already and shot anyone, then it will come under medico legal. So it will come under medico legal homicidal injuries. Then we have accidental. Accidental is again, it is, as the name suggests, it is because of some accident or sudden trauma or sudden accident or something, so it will come under accidental. Then we have fabricated. It is important. For example, I want to conceal myself. For example, I am included in some criminal activity, and if I am attacking someone, and in that course of attack if I got some injury, so I have to cover it up. So for example, I have bruises on my knees and I have bruises on my face, so I will try to cover this up so that investigative people will not identify me as the suspect. So I will fabricate it. I will say I got this injury when I was playing, or I got this injury when I was in gym, I got this injury when I was working in kitchen, like that. So these type of injuries are known as fabricated injuries. Then we have self-inflicted injuries. It is again really very important. Self-inflicted injuries are those injuries which is inflicted by the same person on himself or herself. Okay, for example, I don't want to be known as suspect, and for that I am inflicting some injuries on myself, knowing everything. So if I am inflicting injuries on myself, so these type of injuries are known as self-inflicted injuries. Then we have different defense injuries or defense wounds. So these different defense wounds usually comes in the backside of the head, or you can say the ulnar portion of the hand, and most of the time on legs, because if someone is defending herself or himself, then he will try to cover his face with his hands or feet or with legs. So that's why most of the injuries inflict at the ulnar side of the hand, and your palm or your like backside of surface of the hand. Like we have the palmar one, and then we have the other side. So the other side of the hand will have the defense like wounds or injuries. And most of the time if someone is saying I am defending myself, and then because of that defense I kill somebody by accident, so we identify if these type of wounds are defensive or not. So that's why it is really very important to identify the different type of wounds, if it is self-inflicted, if it is fabricated, or if it is defense wounds. Then we have antemortem and postmortem wounds. So antemortem wounds are those wounds which is inflicted before death. Okay, and then post-mortem wounds or post-mortem injuries are those injuries which is inflicted after death. Okay, so how we can identify ante-mortem injuries and post-mortem injuries? So in ante-mortem injuries, if someone is already living and the injury is inflicted, so the repairing process already starts. Okay, so our body works in a manner, for example, I got the injury somewhere and my body will start the process to heal it, right? Our antibodies will be accumulated at the place of injury, and the like our red blood cells and white blood cells, most of the time if the skin is torn or cut out or anything, so we have some inflammation around the skin, right? So it is the like repairing part of the like repairing part. After the injury our body tries to repairs it. So this process starts, and we have the accumulation of antibodies there, and we have accumulation of red blood cells there, and we have accumulation of white blood cells there. So that's why we can identify that this is the antemortem wound. And it's in post-mortem wounds, so in like after death the blood circulation stop itself, right? So if the blood circulation is stopped already, so we will not have any type of inflammation there, or we don't have any type of accumulation antibodies there. So we can differentiate antemortem and postmortem wounds by analyzing these like characteristic features, you can say. And then we have legal. So in legal we have three types of injuries. First we have simple, then we have grievous, and then we have like dangerous. So why we are categorizing these wounds into simple or grievous or in dangerous? So in simple, so these legal type of injuries, and like let us understand if the person is like going to have the serious type of imprisonment or the serious type of punishment like through the criminal justice system, or if that person will have these like simple or you can say serious or hard type of punishment. So in simple type of injuries we have lesser sentencing, we have you can say the fine is less and the imprisonment is less. And in grievous injury, so in grievous injury we have 7 years of imprisonment and along with fine. Okay, so that's why it is really very important to understand if the injury is simple or not. So in grievous injury we have 7 or 8 type of categorization. If something is like, if those characteristic features are there in that injury, so we can categorize those type of injury as grievous, and the person who is inflicted that injury will get the 7 years of jail or 7 years of imprisonment, we can say. So in legal we have simple, grievous, and then we have dangerous. So dangerous type of wounds are those wounds which nature is dangerous, but it didn't have inflicted like serious type of injuries, so that is dangerous. So why we are categorizing this thing, it is like already complete, that simple and grievous we already require these two things. But dangerous injuries are those injuries, so that person will of course will get the harder sentencing, because the nature of that injury will have some dangerous consequences, even though it isn't like it is happened or not, but it is dangerous. So that's why it is the third category in classification of injuries. So this is the complete classification of injuries. We will cover these different type of injuries one by one in upcoming classes, and this is legal definition of injury, and we have of course medical definition of injury. So that's about it, everyone. I hope this lecture is helpful to you. If this is helpful, you can click the like button, you can share it with your friends, seniors and juniors, and if you want to join any of our classes, it is there in the application, and application link you will find in the description box, so do check that out. And if you have any question, query or anything, you can comment that down below, or you can of course connect us through WhatsApp support number, and again that WhatsApp support number is given in the description box, so do check that out. Thank you so much, have a great day ahead, take care of yourselves, and see you guys in the next class. Till then, take care, bye.